Hi everyone. I'm going to give you a demonstration today of how to create a simple list of your files that allows you to hit hyperlink to them, that also filters them in, possibly interesting ways. The case use that I'm imagining this in is perhaps in a finance department where you essentially go through your month end and you're doing pretty well the same tasks on a monthly basis, and therefore the file names are roughly speaking the same. So what I've done is I've popped a few files into here. This is a file that I've been a folder that I've used to when working on things to do with Power Pivot and so on. And what I've done is I've sort of inserted some month-end files here. I'm just making a bit of an amendment along the way. And what we've essentially got is some files which say that they're month-end files and so on. So we've got some Excel spreadsheets, and we've also got an image which says month-end. And I don't know if I managed to put I think there's a PDF with a month-end as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is get back into Excel here and move myself across to the data tab, and I'm going to start off a new query, and it's going to be here from file and then it's from folder. And the first thing that Power Query will do will be ask me what's the path that you're interested in. So if I hit I've told it the path, and the first thing that is going to happen is it will look through the folders and the subfolders of this path here. So if instead of, I'm not going to go to load because that would just put it straight onto the sheet there. I'm going to go to edit because I want to do a few things along the way. So what we're looking at here is what they call the first inch of water. In this case, there's 78 rows, and you can see all 78 rows. And what you can see is that as well as the folder path here, that's the one I put in, you've got subfolders of that folder path. So we can see that it's actually looked through the subfolders. So the first thing I'm going to do is identify the columns that I want to keep and essentially get rid of all of the other ones. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to hit the remove columns button, but I'm going to hit remove other columns, so that all I'm left with is are these two columns. Now if I move them across, now you obviously do that manually, then we can take a look at we can see that these two fields here make up the path to each file. So but they need to get merged together. Now, so what I need to do there is click on both files, both columns, and in this case I need to go to transform, and it's merge columns, which is not to be confused with merge queries. So transform merge columns, and what that'll do is it'll offer us a new title for the merged columns, and I'm going to call it the file path. So we'll have one column at the end of this. So hit the OK button. Lovely, one column with file path. Now the problem clearly with this is that there are an awful lot of in this theoretical example, an awful lot of elements that aren't month-end files. I'm saying, look, the only ones that are month-end files are these ones which say month-end. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a column, and I'm going to duplicate the column that we've got here. So bang, duplicate it. Lovely. So then what I'm going to do is to identify those those files have actually got month end in them, which is as simple as hitting the filter button and then going for contains and contains month end. Right, lovely. So I'll hit the go button on that. Now, as we go through, we can see that the applied steps. This is a bit like macros being built up in the background. We can see that this program that we've created is being created in this area. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because I don't want to kind of put you all off. But it's as simple as that. That's a job for another day. So all of these files that we've got here have got the word month end in. Lovely. So what I'm going to do here is when we look at it here, it's not that useful because we've got 9 followed by 8, one which doesn't even have a number, then 1, then 10, when in reality our theoretical month end runs from 1 through to whichever the final number is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do another split column. Actually, I don't think we've done one of these yet, but I'm going to go split column. And we're going to go by delimiter, and that delimiter is going to be the word month end. So I'm going to go custom, and I'm going to go month end and hit the go button. So what we'll see is this bit where it says 9.jpg. That's what we're going to see as a result of this. So hit the OK button on this. And what we've got here is 9.jpg, etc., etc. We've even got one here which doesn't even have a number, and let's just pretend that that's an error that that I've made along the way. So the next thing to do is I really just want to get the just the number really, and in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the I'm going to do split it on dot and get rid of the column that we end up with. So if I just hit the split column by delimiter and go down, and we're going to hit the custom and put in a dot, we should see that we'll end up with two columns. It'll be 9 and then JPG, but the dot ends up disappearing. So I'll hit the OK but to that. Yeah, lovely, we've got all that. But in actual fact now I'm only interested in these 2 columns here. So I'm going to do the going to move across to the home. I'm going to go remove columns, remove other columns, and we'll say goodbye to those. The next thing I want to do is I am going to sort ascending, because that's our theoretical order of our month end. And it didn't do anything. Sort ascending. Lovely. So there we are, sort ascending, and at this point in our lives we can go close and load to, and we're just going to pop it onto this sheet here. So go to existing worksheet. It's already worked out, it wants it to be C8, and then I'm going to hit the load button. So here we go. Lovely, in it goes, fabulous. And as I'm mindful that it isn't possible for to put hyperlinks in a way that's actually going to be useful to us in Power Query. So we've got the path, but it's not really a hyperlink. So if I just go equals hyperlink and then hit that one there, then we end up with all of these operating as hyperlinks. So I'm going to get rid of this query thing here, which is just indicates all the queries that are associated with this workbook. And what we should find is that if we hit any of these, it will take us to to the relevant document, whether or not that be a PDF. We've got a PDF down here. See what this is. Hit the yes button. Okay, yeah, and there's also a JPEG. Okay, and that is the JPEG. And finally, an Excel spreadsheet, which I was a bit wary of because I have no idea how long it's going to take for these to open. So I'm going to go with this one here. So it's going off to find a little tiny spreadsheet, and it's worked. So the thing to be careful with is that these formulas aren't dynamic, so they aren't, if we add some more rows in here, it's not gonna do anything. But one final point is to say that if it so happens you realize that actually, do you know what, this number here, that's actually 12, say, and this one here is actually item 150, then all we need to do is to go onto here, hit the data, and hit the refresh, and it will iterate through that once again, and we can see our 12 and we can see our 150, and all of these things will hyperlink successfully so that we can create a nice path through our potential month end. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, bye. Since I went away, I realised that it was rather nice me being able to demonstrate how I can identify my month-end files, but there's a very good chance that you may wish to identify your own month-end files. So I've souped up the code somewhat. I've actually used some of the functionality that Simon Hurst explained in one of his posts in terms of how to parameterize your activities, if you like. So what I've got here is here's a table. It's got the relevant path for the exercise in hand, and what the query does now is it actually makes use of the data that's sitting within in the query. And I will. This is kind of, we're getting into advanced stuff here, but if we open up the query here, we'll see how it all works. So up it comes. We've got the parameter source, navigation, and what we're looking at here is we can see that this is my parameter that's coming in here, and what happens is that later on this gets used. In fact, it's completely straight after. So I'm going to show you the advanced editor, which is like look away if it's getting all a bit technical for you, but it is just words. So on the advanced editor, it explains everything we've done so far, and the thing to note here is that here's me recovering the parameter, here's the path, and that this path here gets used down here. Lovely. And it just sits there and works. So if I come out of there and if I change the path to this particular folder, this folder here, and paste that in, it will now the exercise will go through and it will look at a completely different folder. So if I right click on this and I refresh it, then yeah, this was expected. There's actually only one file in there that's of any use to us. So that shows this now as being parameterized. It would be possible to have more than one path in here, but in order to do that you would need to create a function, and I think at that point that might start to that might start to make people's heads hurt. So I'm going to leave it at this stage for the moment and hope that you get some good use out of it. Thank you. Bye.